the problems we had, it was like us against the problem. Yeah. Do you want to start?
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 6 of
My Last Two Brain Cells.
I'm your host, Maddi Morris, and this is my husband,
Elliott Morris.
And that's very important because today we're talking about a very hot topic, marriage and business, and what it looks like for us and how we got started. And we're going to answer some of your burning hot questions.
Yeah, we are. So hot, so juicy.
Tell the people a little bit about how we got into business together, what our story is, and kind of a little bit more about what our roles look like in Lightheart.
So when we first met, Madison was working as a lash artist at a day spa. Y'all heard the origin story.
You guys heard my traumatic salon story on episode 2.
You guys know. And then she went into business for herself. She went independent. She was taking clients, and eventually she started doing trainings, and the business started growing past her just doing lashes, and
it grew past my capacity as well.
Yeah, and I noticed kind of at the beginning there were things that I noticed, like you needed a better website than you had. You had made one on Wix that was
I was a one-woman show.
Working.
I did all my own website, social media, booking.
It was working. You were getting it done. It was like passable, but I was like, I know some web design, so I'll just make you like a better website that could have more flexibility. You could add your trainings onto it. I just kind of wanted to help in any way I could.
The website was your ticket into Lightheart.
It kind of was. Now that I think
it was your audition.
Yeah, because I was like, I wanted to help any way I could, and I'm like, well, I mean, you need a better website.
And Elliott, from the get-go, we were freshly dating when I still was a new lash artist. So Elliott really was with me from the beginning and origin of my career. He was a day one homie.
That's right.
So when Elliott jumped in to work on my website, I think we were like 20 years old.
Yeah.
And that was me first letting go a little bit of the reins of my business. And I will say that I have been a control freak in my business since day one. And I found it very difficult to let go of titles and roles.
True.
And give anyone any sort of authority in what I've created. But I've learned that that is how you grow.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of the paradox of being in business for yourself is as soon as you quit your job working for someone else, you basically start your business, but you're just starting a new job. So you're not really a business owner. You just work for yourself.
Absolutely.
And the kind of paradox, I think, of business is that the entire goal of growing your business and of increasing growing what your business is just buying away all the things that you do. So the whole goal of like the end goal of your business is that you're no longer doing anything in it, and you've built systems and you've hired people and you've grown it to the point where you're no longer necessary. And that's where it's a business that is something that you can sell, or like the public businesses that are on the stock market. Like those are all businesses where the people who started them, they grew them to the point where they were no longer necessary, and then they sold them either to the public or to someone else. And that's kind of like the end state of every great business, because we're gonna die one day, and if we don't grow the business to something that doesn't need us, then when we die, the business goes away.
Their lash business that is gonna exist after people die.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, we kind of got really existential really fast there, but I think the reason I mention that is because, like, in Madison's business originally, it was Wildflower Lash up in Alaska. She was doing 100% of everything. She had 100% control over everything, but it came to a point where in order for it to grow, she had to give up some of that control. And she started off by giving some of it up to me, like with the website, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff that I do, I'm sure. But
yeah, and we're still at a point in our business where we don't have a big team of people. Like Elliott and I still are kind of, we do everything.
No, yeah, it is just us.
It is just us.
But it's not just you.
No, but it's not just me, and that's been really wonderful. And I think it's grown our relationship a lot, because being in business will grow you up very fast.
Oh yeah.
And your relationship either makes it or it doesn't, especially when you're taking big risks and you're building a building.
Yeah, no, that definitely strained I think it would have been an issue for a lot of relationships. I don't think it really was for us.
No.
We never really, and I think like there's a statistic that like some high percentage of like marriage problems come from money problems.
Yeah.
And like we definitely had money problems during the build out, but I think we thought of it so differently in that the problems we had, it was like us against them.
Yeah, it was never me versus Elliott. Even if we differed on an opinion on something, it would always be us versus the opinion. Like, how can we get both of us to a point where we can agree?
Yeah.
And we would never, and it sounds so corny, but we would never go to bed still debating the topic. And it was so important for Elliott and I, you know, I mean, some people like to put it aside and talk about it in the morning, but for Elliott and I, we were like, no, this is important. Like, we need to figure it out now.
Yep.
And we would stay up till 3 a.m. just figuring it out.
We would stay up late. Yeah. And like, I think that was one of the questions was like, how do we deal with conflicts that arise between us? And yeah, I think one of the kind of fundamental things that we both believe is that if there's a conflict between us, then it means that we are operating under either different assumptions or we see different facts. And because we believe that we're both reasonable people and that we are both smart.
That's very important. Having a lot of respect for your partner.
That is like
really deeply respecting them and trusting that they are doing the best that they can in their capabilities.
No, 100%. And because I think that Madison's very smart and I like to think that I'm passably smart, I like to believe that if we both see the same facts in a situation, that we will both come to a very similar solution for that decision. And it's kind of proven to be true. And
we explore each other's ideas in entirety.
100%.
Like if Elliott has an idea that I just do not understand, I will explore it to every, like the ends of that idea.
Yeah.
Like how on earth you think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
How, why, what that looks like 5 years from now, and then how I can also meet you there.
Yeah.
So I think before we answer their burning hot questions, can you talk a little bit about like what our roles actually are day to day and like how we operate Lightheart internally, what that looks like?
Yeah. I mean, you are Lightheart. You are the heart behind the business. And I think you are kind of the most important part of the business. Like you're the face of it.
Lightheart would suck without
if
me,
Lightheart
you guys.
was just me,
no one's buying it.
No one's buying it. But yeah, you do all the work, and I sit back and collect the checks.
No, that's not true. I teach trainings. I come up with most of the ideas, and I physically, service my clientele, and I help manage the renters. And Elliott does basically everything.
I think I do operations.
Yeah.
I run the books.
Elliott runs the books. He's our tech guy. He sets up the podcast. He sets up, all of our filming equipment, films my educational content. He works on my email list, sends out emails.
Yeah.
He does all the website and tech. And if you guys ever get an email from my email list, I love you, but I did not write it.
Yeah. No, I'm at this point, okay, the big secret,
Elliott
the big juicy secret.
Elliott is like AI Madison.
100%. The big juicy secret is that I have perfected the art of writing in Madison's voice, and I am able to write literally any Instagram caption or any email that sounds exactly like she wrote it.
I mean, I work morning till night, and so
I
don't have the capacity to do all this. And we have an email list of 6,000 people. And we put out, I make the content, I give it to Elliott, and then Elliott distributes it to all you guys so it gets in your hands. And it's so cute because I'll get an email from my email list and it'll be like, "Hi, beautiful, Maddie here." And it's just
and Madison's like, "Wait, when did I write
this? And then Elliott obviously does a lot, behind the scenes for like our taxes and our accounting and our bookkeeping and day-to-day management things, like if we have the ceiling fall in like it did this week, like Elliott is first on the job to fix it.
Yeah, we got a leak We had a palm frond fall on the roof.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, a palm frond from one of the palm trees fell on the roof, poked a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
And then we got a leak in the ceiling, and it made one of the ceiling tiles for one of our renters fall to the ground. Made a big mess.
Yeah, Elliott's first on the job for everything. He's reliable. And then obviously I think it's so important going forward that people know Lightheart as like a couple. Rather than just me as the face of it, because I see what we do as 50-50. And also, Lightheart was the name that Elliott came up with. Tell them why it's named Lightheart.
No, I can't. Please. I can't. You have to tell
Okay,
them.
everyone always asks me where the name Lightheart came from. They think it's just like a cute, girly name. But Elliott came up with the name Lightheart.
Madison actually hated it at first.
I hate it.
She did. It took her.
Can you believe how much it grew on me?
One really fun fact about Madison is that every like new idea, everything that we've done that's been like a new idea, Madison has hated at first, and then few days to a few weeks later, generally she'll come around.
I'm obsessed. You don't understand. I'm obsessed.
I just plant the seeds, and then she's like, "That's a terrible idea. That's garbage. Why would you think that's good?" And then like sometimes even like 2 months later, she'll be like, "You know, I've been thinking. I think this is a really good idea."
So my business name previously was Wildflower Lash, and then when we moved to Arizona, I was like, "Look, that name is taken. It's not trademarkable. I want something that's truly unique." And so Elliott wrote up a list of names, and one of them was Lightheart, and he goes, "I think we should name the business Lightheart."
This is it.
And I was like, I don't like it. It doesn't roll off the tongue. And Lightheart came from a song that Elliott wrote for me to propose to me. You light up my heart.
Okay, yeah, that's enough of it.
You're the sun and the moon. And when you're, come on.
No, I can't.
Sing it for the
Not
people.
in public for the people.
No. On the podcast.
No, I don't know them that well.
I'm just
Maybe one day
you.
we can post the wedding video eventually.
What if you broke out into song right now and performed it?
Oh. Yeah.
So anyway, basically, Elliott proposed to me when we were very young and cute. And
we were in Sedona. One of my best friends, Nathan, brought a piano.
Elliott
up
did
the
most dramatic proposal.
Thank
you guys,
you so much.
He hiked. Well, his friend Nathan hiked a piano up a mountain, and Elliott and I were at the top of the mountain, and sweet Nathan brought the piano up the mountain, and then
we were on a hike. We went all the way up, and then while we were all the way up, he brought it up like halfway. Yeah. And then we came back down. I was like, what is this
What is
doing?
this piano doing
Whoa!
up here? And I was like, girl,
What
am I
is
about to
this?
get proposed to right now? There's a piano on a mountain.
Yeah. She's like, this seems a lot like a proposal.
I see the future. And Elliott had written a beautiful song. And the main sort of lyric was like, you're the light of my heart. You light up my heart.
You light up my heart.
You light up my heart. And so eventually I said, I don't like that name. It doesn't make sense to me. And Elliott got really sad, and he was like, you don't like that name? Do you know what it means? And I was like, no, it has no meaning. And Elliott's like, yes, it does. It's from my song.
Exactly like that. The tone and everything.
And so I thought it would be really, I came around to it, and I thought it would be really special to have Lightheart be the name, because it like the building and the trainings, and
because it doesn't sound like some cringy thing that I wrote for you, but
no, it just sounds like
no one would know.
It just sounds like a sweet name, but it has such a deeper meaning for us, and Lightheart really is an extension of how we love each other, is how we want to love this industry.
Yeah, and I think it gives the right vibe also.
Yeah. We want people to have this building feels lighthearted.
Yeah, it feels like it lights up your heart.
It lights up your heart. You light up my heart. Okay, so I also want to preface before we answer these questions that Elliott is perfect. So if you're like, how do you guys not argue? How do you guys
just be perfect?
Just guys, marry a perfect little guy.
It's not that hard.
When I met Elliott, I was like, oh, he's perfect.
Oh, obviously.
He's so cute. He's so smart. Honestly, marry someone or get in a relationship or a partnership with someone who is insanely cute and sweet and smart.
And then everything's easy.
That you like to spend every second with. And also, just speaking on marriage, like we obviously aren't 1,000 years old. Like we've, we're 24 and 26, and we got married when we were 21 and 23. 21 and 22?
23? 22? 23?
I think I was 20 or 21.
You were 21.
Yeah, and you were
It was before October. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had 22 or 23.
So we got a good 3 years of marriage under our belt.
Yeah, so marriage boot camp coming out soon.
And I will just say, if you are a
That was a
business
joke.
owner and you want to be in a relationship with someone that you can successfully operate like a big business with that you want to grow in, marry the right person.
Yeah, no, like
don't try to turn someone into a business owner that isn't.
There's a saying in football that the season is won in the draft. And that means that in order to win the football games, you got to pick the right people for your team. And I really think that's true. Like if you're trying to like win at business and that's a really important thing to you at this point in your life and you're not married, like, and you're finding who you want to marry, like find someone else who business is also really important to them and who wants to win at business.
Yeah.
Because both of us, like, we, I think, got very lucky because you did not like own your business when we first met. But I think I kind of saw, like,
I was very entrepreneurial.
You totally were.
And I owned my henna and my makeup business on the side.
So you had other stuff, and I was like, okay, this girl's going places.
I had a very entrepreneurial spirit, and Elliott wanted to make a lot of money, and he saw that I was addicted to work, and he was
saw
like
dollar signs, and my eyeballs went ching 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 like
well, it's
Scrooge McDuck.
I think it's so funny when I first told you like how much I charge and how much I make doing lashes. Like,
dang,
Elliott was just
girl.
like, I love lashes. I love lash extensions.
Lash extensions are the future. I was like, I'm all in, baby.
Because originally when you first found out about lashes, you were like, oh, that's really cool. But then when I was like, girl,
no, you don't understand.
You don't understand. You
they
were just like,
keep coming.
Elliott was like, I'll learn how to do lashes.
I'm like, I'll do them.
Yeah,
I'll do them.
So find the right partner, and Elliott and I definitely did. And
like we both wanted to be business owners, and so it made it very easy because my goal when we first like were dating, my big long plan was I was going to work as a robotics engineer, and then maybe 5-10 years from now, once I was like established, like had a lot of experience, I was going to start a robotics company, probably in like the same industry, probably in like oil and gas, do like another type of robot for inspection, similar to the ones that I'm doing, like hit a different vertical. And that was my goal. I'm like, I eventually want to own my own business. And then
that's so funny how that literally didn't happen.
Literally is not gonna happen ever. And I am totally fine
I will also
with that.
tell the people, did you know that Elliott is a robotics engineer? He has a degree and is a board certified robotics engineer.
Okay, I'm not board certified for robotics engineering. There is a like certification for engineering. You have to take the FE exam, the fundamentals of engineering, and they become an engineer in training, which everyone who I graduated with took, but I did not take that test.
Okay, so Elliott went to college for 4.5 years, and he does have his degree in mechanical engineering.
Yes.
And Elliott, to this day, has a full-time job as an engineer.
Yes, I am a robotics engineer.
Is that crazy? It's a side hustle.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell them the name where you work.
It is a full-time. Oh, yeah, I should beep that out. Where
are
we at? Okay, we're at 18 minutes and 59
Do not
seconds.
leak your employee.
Don't dox myself.
No, I'm just saying, like, Elliott is a full-time, devoted employee to the robotics company that he works for, and he also manages to do this. So, I think that's very cool.
Yes.
He's a busy man. The first question that I got was, were you married before you went into business with each other?
Well,
and
I think we answered that.
Yes, we were. Because we weren't in business before we were married.
Yeah, no. So I helped with the business tangentially.
Yeah.
And
I think when we really committed and went all in was during the build out.
Oh, yeah.
During the build out, we were like,
before
we are
the
in
build
this
out,
for life.
Yeah. Before the build out, there wasn't really anything that you couldn't do without me.
Right, because
like,
I was teaching and traveling and lashing, and I worked for another lash company.
You're right.
This got asked like 25 times, Elliott. The people really wanted to know, how do you balance your home life and your work life?
Okay.
And how do you not, someone said, how do you not bring work home with you?
Okay. I would say that you don't.
This is like not the answer you
okay.
want.
No, this is honestly unpopular opinion.
We stand by this 1,000%.
I 100% believe this. To my core. I think that if you feel like you keep bringing work home and you don't like it, then you do not like your business enough.
Yeah.
And either you can decide, okay, I think if you're a person who doesn't want to bring their work home as much, I think we are not the people to ask, because my answer would be,
because we love bringing work home.
My answer would be find a business where you are happy to bring it home, because our biggest goal, like my biggest goal, is to grow Lightheart and make it a big, beautiful business that is going to impact and help thousands and thousands of people. And because that is my big goal, and I desire that so strongly, I am so happy to take work home, because I love working towards that dream of
it brings us joy.
100%. And if I was sitting at home and I had to decide between watching Netflix and working on the business, I 9 times out of 10 decide to work on the business, because I would much rather push that dream forward than, unwind and like spend time doing something that isn't going to push it forward. Now, that is not to say that it is not important to relax and take time to yourself.
We have a very balanced life. Like, we take vacations monthly.
Yeah, we take quite a few vacations.
We take,
I mean, we didn't up until,
we sacrificed a lot, but at this point in our business, like,
now
we have a very balanced life. Like, we go on walks together, every other day, and we spend a lot of time together. Yeah. We try to go on dates when we can.
And there's one other thing.
We're very social.
Yeah. And there's one other thing that I think is really important. And I think probably the best advice that I could give is that we don't work on work and we don't work on the business unless we want to.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I want to work on the business, I do. And if I feel like, I'm not really feeling it, like, I don't really feel like editing the Facebook ads, or I don't really feel like working on the email list, or don't really feel like doing something, like, I won't.
Elliott plays video games.
Yeah, I'll play video games, or I'll like unwind. But more often than not, I do want to work on the business, because I have, like, it's something that gives me so much satisfaction. And like, the whole point of doing things for most people, that like doing things outside of work, like having hobbies, is that everyone's looking for something to like give themselves satisfaction. And like, people need to do things and feel rewarded for those things. And a lot of people, the sad fact is, a lot of people are working jobs that don't make them feel rewarded. And so they seek those rewards outside of work.
So they're like, oh, I have to do pottery, and I have to like,
and I
go
love pottery. Pottery's awesome. But I think at this point, we've gotten to a point with the business, and we built the business to where the business Lightheart gives us all those rewards, and it gives those dopamine hits of like finishing things and like moving things forward.
And also, what I think's been really important for propelling our business forward is that Elliott and I don't limit ourselves on like what we can do within the workday and like at night. So like, if I at 1 a.m. am like, I need to work on my manual, I have things that I want to tweak in it. This is a real life example.
Yep.
Elliott's like, oh my gosh, go. Like, do you need anything? Do you need a Red Bull? Like, can I help you? And I will get on the computer and I'll just work
100%.
all night. And Elliott's so supportive of that. And
one of the reasons is because that like kind of motivation doesn't come all the time. So when it does come, if it's like midnight, like, freaking use it.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's midnight, if you're feeling like so motivated to do something,
and if I want to take a nap or bake some cookies or
like,
whatever I want, Elliott's like, go for it, because
100%.
But it would bother me so much. It would bother both of us so much if one of us had a burst of energy and like wanted to work on something,
and the other one's like, no, come to bed, no, come hang out, and
it would drive us crazy.
100%. And I think it's so much easier. And honestly, we
should hold hands for this whole episode.
Okay, we can hold. This is comfy. This is nice.
Should be the thumbnail.
Perfect. That was a beautiful thumbnail. Were you out from behind the mic so they can see your face? Great thumbnail. Love that.
Marriage and business.
I am very lazy, and I think if I built my life in a way that I had to force myself to do things, I would never get anything done. Yeah. And so the way we have built our lives is that we have the motivation to work on things because they give us so much satisfaction and joy, like in the business. And so when that motivation comes, it comes a lot more often because our business is like so great and we love what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we get that motivation. We don't have to force ourselves to work on it. We just want to because we see what it's doing and we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to do more of this.
Yeah. I think that's a great answer. Like if you are trying to create a life or a business where you come home and completely step away from it, it's not going to grow.
No. And if that is not, if you don't want to grow your business, if you're happy where it is, that's fine too. Like you do not have to grow a big business. Like there is no rule. I'm not telling you need to do it. No one is going to require you. If like you're an independent lash artist, you're happy where you're at. Maybe you're like, my biggest desire in the world is to have kids and like raise a family. Like that's amazing. Like that is so.
Elliott and I are by no means saying like, just hustle day and night and grind till you
hustle
like.
Culture is
Elliott
garbage.
And I have a very, very balanced life.
100%.
But
like we do not work 16 hours a day. Like we don't.
No.
But when we feel like working, we work.
We encourage each other to work.
100%.
Yeah.
And if we have the motivation to work, then we do. And I think I would be probably less productive overall if I tried to work 16 hours a day because the quality of the work I did would be worse.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to work less and have the quality of what we do matter.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Recently, Elliott and I have started scheduling like quarterly board meetings. It's this wonderful new concept he came up with.
Okay. Well, so one thing that I noticed is that we have the best ideas in the business when we're on vacation.
Yeah.
And I think
when I can step away from behind the lash bed and out of my training room, like I think of things that 100%. Will actually make a difference.
Because it's like you are working on, like you're not caught up in like the day-to-day operations.
You're working in your business, not on your business.
Exactly. You're like caught up in the day-to-day. Like you're thinking about, okay, I have these clients tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Like I have to do this, and this. Like if you step away, you're in a totally new environment. You're like, the whole goal is relaxing. It frees up your brain to like think about other things. And like we love talking about like the business and like what we want to do in the business. So it makes it so easy that like when we're on vacation, we're in this beautiful place. Like when we were just in Maui was when Madison had the brilliant idea to do the angel lash course. We were just sitting in this like garden in Maui, and we were eating some of the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
Chillin'.
It was so good. It had pickled lemon rind on it. Insane. So good. And
it was
then
like
Madison,
prosciutto and lemon rind.
And then Madison was like, you know how I've said that I never want to do online trainings? I was like, yeah. She's like, I think I figured out a way where I could do online trainings and actually give people really good results. And I was like, I am absolutely here for
Elliott gets
that.
out his notepad.
I'm
He's
like, what should we do? And she's like, I think we could teach people styles online instead of teaching them technique. And I'm like, freaking brilliant. She's like, I learned technique from Reels. And it's like, she's like, imagine how much better people could learn if you gave them an actual like HD like documentary on how to do this style of lashes. So much better than a reel.
So we came home and we immediately set aside a time, to film it and edit it and get a model.
We did it. We set it up for like the next week. Yeah. And then we edited it as fast as we could. And part of it, we like tried to crunch the timeline because we had like Black Friday coming up. So we wanted to release it for that. But like, we
have something bigger coming up next year, like our mentorship program that we're building out.
I'm very pumped for that.
Can I say the name?
Should we? I mean, we could build hype.
Come on.
We could build hype. Let them know. Oh, you want to do it together?
Lightheart University Incorporated.
Oh, no. What is that? Internal temp too high.
It got too hot?
Okay, one moment.
Alrighty.
Okay, we're back.
Our camera got too hot.
Okay, we got a new camera, and it's very good. It doesn't have a 30-minute record limit. However, you have to set the auto power off temp to high in order for it to record continuously, which I had not done yet. So it is on high now, and it will go forever.
All right. Well, as I was saying, we are building out a very, very cool program next year called Lightheart University, and we're very excited about it, but it requires a lot of our time, brain power and time to
we are going to pour hundreds and hundreds of hours into creating this, and it's going to be the best thing we have ever made. And it's going to be
better than the studios.
It's going to be like the last thing that we'll ever make, because I think once we release it, then we will just spend all of our time improving it and making it better. And it is I think going to be amazing, because it's a business model that is very sustainable. It doesn't require a ton of new customers all the time. It will be something that we, with Lightheart University, we will be able to sustain the business just off of this one product is the goal. And so I'm very excited for it.
We are very excited about it. So Elliott booked us a really cute spa vacation in January where we're literally just going to go away and all we're going to do is work out and systematize how we're going to do it.
Yes. And it's not even far. It's just up north of Phoenix in Cave Creek.
So work-life balance, I say
just find a business you like more and then you won't care.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know, how do we deal with arguments?
I think we already
We try not
answered
to argue because it makes us really sad and it makes us cry.
We do not argue because if you have ever tried arguing with Madison, then she will make you feel like you are the meanest person in the world. And no one wants to feel that way.
If Elliott even gets a little bit frustrated with me.
If my voice rises a single decibel above
I will cry
speaking
and
tone, she's like, why are you yelling at me?
And I'll go, I'll come back when you're nice, man.
She does. She does.
It's so funny. People don't know anything about our personal life.
It's
but
overpowered. It's a freaking cheat code.
People don't know much about our personal life at all. My friends are always like, I know you and Ellie, but like, I don't know you and Ellie. Like, how do you operate? And I'm like, honestly, when we're together, we're just cute little babies.
Really? You think?
We're just cute, tiny little babies. And anytime Elliott's voice raises the tiniest decibel, I'll go, come back when you're nice, man. Don't talk to me. Anyway, someone asked, how did you go about talking about each other's finances?
Oh, that's a good one. We
did marriage counseling.
We did marriage counseling.
We did.
And one of the very first conflicts that we had about finances was that I thought we should put so Madison had a ton of money in her savings account, and only in her savings account. She had zero investments.
This is all from Lashing, and also I only spent money that I made in cash tips.
She only spent money she made in cash tips. All the money she made Lashing, she just put into her bank account.
I was like afraid of spending money.
No, she was just like stacking it up, and then eventually she would have a room filled with money that she could dive into like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
And that was the goal.
And Elliott was the total opposite of me.
I was like, why is this money not invested? And I was like, okay. And she's like, I do not want to invest it. I'm like, do you want to put some in like the S&P 500? Just put it in some index.
I was like, I don't know what those letters and numbers
No, I do not.
mean.
I'm like, you should put like 50% of your money. She's like, whoa. I do not want to put 50% of my money into stocks. No way. I was like, okay, what about if you put like 10% of your money into something? She's like, okay, like maybe I could do that. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to only put 10% in, we should put it in like a high risk, high reward thing so that, you have a little more upside. So I'm like, you should put it into Bitcoin. And
this is when Bitcoin was a hot new thing.
No, this is when Bitcoin was like $7,000. So it was not like 50 grand. And I'm like, oh, it can only go up. And then it crashes to 17. This was when it was $7,000.
I was 19 years old, guys.
And I was like, I think put a little bit by like, just buy a little, like it's better than having no money invested. Like if it goes up, great. If it goes away,
Elliott was a college student
problem.
and he said, Madison, I want you to put like, what was it? 5-10 grand.
It was like $3.
It was $3 grand.
It was $3,000.
Elliott goes, I want you to put $3,000 into Bitcoin. And I was like, okay, well that is
10%.
That is 30 fills. So I will not be doing that.
And then we like, actually, I was like, come on, like this is like smarter than just keeping all your money in a bank account.
So we brought it to our marriage counselor when we were talking about finances. We did this before we got married.
Yep.
We did not do this after we got married.
Yeah.
And it was very important to us to get marriage counseling before we got married because we were young and we knew that
everyone said you're not gonna last.
And also we didn't look at us now.
Look at us now, Paul.
No, Elliott.
No, I'm kidding. Paul loves us. Paul loves us. But at the beginning, he didn't know, and I don't blame him.
Well,
for
we
that.
were stupid kids, but it was so funny. We were in marriage counseling and we showed up to our first session. He said, okay, what are the conflicts in your relationship? And we said, we don't have any. We're perfect and we have never fought in our life. And we hadn't. And
really didn't.
Going to marriage counseling was so beneficial for us because we were able to explore problems that we didn't have to see how we would solve them. And turns out we
solved them pretty
we
well.
solved it pretty well.
And Madison was like, well, one conflict that we do have
is that Elliott wants to put $3,000 of my hard-earned money into Bitcoin, and the marriage counselor goes,
and then I slipped him a 20 under the table, and he said, I think you should invest in Bitcoin. And I was like, thank you, marriage counseling over.
no, he did not say that. He said, I think this would be a good exercise for you to trust Elliott with what you treasure the most.
Can you believe that? I didn't even have to bribe him. He just said that.
Elliott was like,
I was like, yes, let's go. No. What he actually said was, he was like, is this about the money? Like, is the money going into this investment going to impact your lives, or is it about you not trusting that he is making the right decision? And then Madison talked about it and then realized that, okay, this is actually that I do not trust anyone else with my money other than me. And it was a deeper thing in that, like, she was so independent that she had never needed to, like, rely on anybody else for anything.
and I really had, I prided myself on not needing anyone.
On her independence. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I remember when I lived in my house alone in Alaska and, like, ran my business, I was like,
she was like, yes.
I'm a freaking boss. I don't
I'm
need
a boss.
anyone.
I'm a beast. I'm a boss.
Yeah.
But then we talked about it, and our marriage counselor was like, maybe it's not the worst thing to need each other if you're going to be getting married. And Madison was like, okay, maybe we do need each other.
So to this day, how we talk about finances is we're very much on the same page.
Yep.
And Elliott is a little more, you still are more of an investor, and I'm a little more risk averse. I do like.
But I think it's a very good balance.
It is a good balance.
Because I think I am too risk hungry and you are too risk averse, and because we both of those kind of hit against each other, I think we land in a really good place.
And Elliott always asks me, he says, how can we have enough to make you comfortable, like, doing this? Like, Elliott wants to do a second location. I want to do a second location. We want to do it bigger and better. It's probably going to cost like $3.5 million. Like, it's going to be huge. And I said, I'm only happy doing that if we have a house and we have X amount in the bank.
And I was like, okay, I can do that.
So it's just about meeting each other where you're comfortable.
Because at first, when we were first talking about doing a second location, it was a bit of a conflict because I was like, I think we should do a second location. And Madison was like, absolutely not, never. And partially that was on me because I did bring it up while we were still in the middle of the first location build out, which was a nightmare.
Which was the worst year of our life.
But in my defense, my reasoning was that, okay, this sucks so hard. And we made so many stupid mistakes that I would like to redeem myself by doing this again and not making all the stupid mistakes. And also, because we made all the stupid mistakes,
be able to do it bigger and better.
We could do it so much easier, and we won't make all those mistakes again.
Yeah.
And like, so we already paid like the tuition of like learning how to do studios.
Yeah.
So now we should use that tuition to do them right like a second time. And that was my reasoning. However, I brought it up at a very bad time. And but then eventually, I was like, okay, I don't think it's about you not actually wanting to do a second studios, but you feeling like we would be like in danger doing a second location. So what would make you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Like, where would we need to be?
And I said, like, I would like to have enough to like
we need to have this much left over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, absolutely.
I want to own a home and like have enough to like support a child.
Which is like, yeah.
And have like money in the bank.
Yeah. It's like, give me
if we can comfortably do that, let's do second location. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
And we talk about everything. I think finances aside, like, you just talk about everything. How you feel about everything.
Oh yeah. We have zero secrets.
Yeah. What's your biggest secret? No, I'm kidding. What's something you've never told me?
What's something you've never told anyone in your entire life?
I stash cash away in the building.
Really?
It's in the walls. My savings account, it's in the walls. I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be funny?
You
just open a secret door one day and just like cash flies out. And then I loved this last question. It was advice for a partner that wants to help grow your business but just doesn't know how to.
Ooh, that is good.
Like a boyfriend or a partner or a husband.
Because I think the hardest part is getting them to want to. I think once they want to, I think you're already in a pretty good space.
Because we weren't business owners before we got married. Like, we had to grow together. And
I wanted to help.
And a lot of people are just looking for someone that like has their life together and is a business owner. And it's like, you can find someone that is passionate and teachable and that cares so much and has a huge vision, and you can build something beautiful together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need to marry like this rich, successful old man. Like, you can to have an amazing business. Like, you can.
You know how you find a well-adjusted, loving 40-year-old man is you find a well-adjusted, loving 25-year-old man, and you get married, and then you grow old.
That's so cute.
I think so.
It's so true.
I think that's true. I think that's true because it's like,
because when we're 40, when we're 50, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, how did you find this like amazing, smart, business-minded person?" I'm like,
it's like, well, we met.
I'm like, I found a cute, nerdy
22.
college student, and I fell in love with him.
Potential.
And I saw potential, baby.
She invested.
I invested.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah, Elliott invested in Bitcoin. I invested in Elliott, honey.
And look at where we are.
Buy low, sell high.
That's us.
I don't know what that means, but that's what I did.
And that's why I handled the investments. I'm like, buy stocks. And Madison's like, I don't know what stocks are. And I'm like, that's why I do the investing.
I'm dead. Okay, that's all the questions that I wanted to answer.
Lovely.
And is there anything you want to add?
Is there anything else that we should talk about? Is there any other unique aspects of our relationship that you think the people of the internet are dying to know?
I think if you're forcing your partner into being in business with you or helping you grow your business, like you need.
Oh, you know what? I don't think we actually answered the question.
Okay.
I think okay. So number one, you already like 80% of the way there because having the desire to help you in your business is like the hardest part to get.
Yeah, if you have someone that has like a smallest bit of desire to help you with your business, like,
that's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. And I think step two, because her question was what's our advice if they want to help but they don't know how?
Yeah.
And I would say my advice if they want to help but they don't know how is just to tell them what the issues are that you're currently running into in your businesses and what the challenges are and like where.
Because if they want to help, they're probably problem solvers.
Exactly. And where you need help.
There's a lot of problems in business and you
100%.
need solutions.
Yeah. And just figure out the places where you need help in your business and then let them know. And then they'll find one that they are equipped to help you solve.
Yeah.
And they may not be able to help you solve all of them. Like maybe you need a website, but they have no idea.
Elliott can't do lashes.
No. Madison's like, I don't want to go do lashes today.
It'd be so helpful if Elliott could do lashes.
Oh, it would be, but
my clients would love you.
There's a reason I'm not a lash artist.
Yeah, but like find where, they could fit in your business. And if you're like, oh, hey, I need...
Yeah, just go through all the things
I need someone to answer DMs every day.
100%.
Like,
there you go. That's something anyone could do.
Like, honestly, if I had a boyfriend that just was a stupid idiot and didn't know how to do anything business, they were bad with money, they were bad with tech, they were bad with advertising.
Well, let's not assume they're a stupid idiot. I mean, I guess if we assume they're a stupid idiot, then
if they were a sweet stupid idiot and they just genuinely had like not a lot of skills but desperately wanted to help you out, I would start by just being like, can you I really want help with social media. Can you just like think of 20 things I could post this week? Give me 20 ideas. Or like,
or you could be like, hey, like if you're trying to build your clientele, be like, hey, could you just like DM like 50 girls in our area, be like, hey, I'm a lash artist here. Like give them a copy paste message.
Stuff, yeah.
And then just tell them copy and paste this, send it to like 50 girls.
Elliott was just finding the gaps in my business that I needed desperately to have some help with, and he would scooch in there. Like I remember when we moved to Arizona, I was DMing like 500 girls a day and I was introducing myself and asking if they wanted to see me for lashes. Not discounted, by the way. Just asking if they want to see me for lashes and like telling them my schedule. And Elliott started taking my copy and paste message and he was emailing like local celebrities managers, and he'd be like, hi, I'm Madison, I'm a lash artist.
Not like celebrities, but like Instagram models.
And like local celebrities and local talent, and he would just send what I was already sending to people. So just having your partner help you with the volume of what you're doing.
If you have things that you do every day that take like time that you're like, this is easy, but I just don't have the time to do it, then like...
And also start including them in things.
100%. Just talk to them about your business. Like that's also one of the things is like, we talked about Madison's business so much that I just naturally could find all the places that I could help because we talked so much about like what she was doing because I was like so interested in it. I was like, tell me about like, what are you doing today? Like what, how many like clients did you have? Oh, you want more clients? Like, oh, well,
do you want more clients?
How did you get the clients you have right now? Like, maybe we could do more of that. Or
if
like,
they're curious, include them.
100%. Just talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And as your business grows, I think it's been a really cool experience to start putting Elliott more at the forefront, you know, so people.
Oh yeah, I was in the background.
He was in the background.
I was in the shadows.
And I've really enjoyed this last year because like everyone at Lightheart has become so comfortable with you, and like you're such a friend to everyone.
I love hanging out with the
It's
renters.
the best. Like
so
Elliot
fun.
is like BFFs with all the renters here,
great.
and every time he comes in the studios, like you can hear his voice because everyone's like, bah! Like everyone just is always laughing around you. All the girls love you.
It helps that the renters are all BFF worthy.
They are.
They can hang.
They can hang. They can chill.
They can hang.
But yeah, just, you know, including them on everything. And as your business grows, you know, I want people when they think of Lightheart to think of Maddi and Elliott, not just Maddie Morris.
Aw.
Yeah.
Really?
And we call Elliot the CEO. We call him the Chief Encouragement Officer.
That's me.
Give them a title. Give them a role.
Yeah. Give them a role.
Give
That's
them
a good way to
give
get
them a
them
title.
involved.
Yeah.
Be like, you are my head of social media outreach.
You're the assistant to assistant manager.
And they'll be like, I'm the assistant.
Make
to
them feel
assistant
special.
manager.
Give them bonuses. Give them raises.
Give them every month you should put a employee of the month plaque on the
That's
wall
so
with their picture.
cute. That's so cute. We should have an employee of the month plaque.
No, we should.
In the lobby here, and
Yeah.
it's just your face
It's just
every
me
month,
every month.
just smiling. Yeah, include them, make them feel special, and also like include them in the milestones of your business too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. In order for them to keep that ambition and to keep that like interest in your company, you have to share the like wins with them also. Absolutely. Like, oh, we said it at the same time. You have to like share the wins with them. Like if you have like
Because running a business is hard, but like
yeah, it sucks. But like you're doing it for a reason, and that reason is for the business to grow and to succeed.
And pay
so
them.
like. Yeah, and like if you have a really good month, if you get a lot of new clients because they helped out, like take them to a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Take them out.
Yeah.
Buy them some
Maybe
drinks.
that's why you hang around.
That's why I hang
Are
out.
you just a sugar baby?
It's for the dinners. It's for our bourbon and bones date. That's why I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm just a sugar
treat
baby.
them nice.
Treat them good.
Treat 'em
Treat
good.
your chief encouragement officer well. That is my number one advice: is to give your chief encouragement officer lots and lots of presents.
Get them a sticker chart.
Yeah. Give them
Like, you know, like those toddler potty training
yeah.
signs.
Like, you reached out to 12 girls today, so you get a sticker.
Yeah. You did my bookkeeping. Sticker. Yeah.
Yeah, men are simple, men are dumb, and men are very easily
Or women, whoever you're with.
pleased. Oh yeah, true. We don't know.
Yeah.
I just know men are dumb. I think you can
Women
can
are
speak to women. I guess women are too.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
We're all
thank you
dumb.
so much for tuning in. This was a really sweet episode, and thank you so much. We'll talk to you on the next one.
Bye-bye. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Smooches.
Oh, skilly-beep pop.
Skilly-beep-bop-a-doop-a-doop-bow. That was a fun sign off.
our
Okay.
good outro.
Okay, we should go. We're gonna our retention is gonna crater for this last 30 seconds because everyone will have already clicked away.
Okay, bye, buddies.
All right, bye buddies.